USA takes on Belarus tonight as they head Friday into Erie, Pennsylvania to take on Sweden. Chris starts the exhibition. We expect a fast-paced, quick game. We talked to head coach Bob Mosko before the game, and this team still hasn't been picked yet for Team USA. He's still trying to figure out the puzzle.
Yeah, it's obviously you can sit there and there's a big disadvantage for the Belarus team playing a high-powered team like the United States. But though on the other side, we got jobs on the line. There's 4 young men that are going to be asked to go back to their colleges and to their, regular season teams. And a lot of these players, Steve, as you know, have never been cut from anything because the talent game against Sweden is very, very important for many of the players here.
As we are about set at center ice, Casey Middlestat will be at center. Ilya Litvinov will be at center for Belarus. Dmitry Rodik in net for the Belarus team. They are wearing the red helmets, red pants, white jerseys with the green trim. And in net, Joseph Woll. Between the pipes for the Americans, he's 7-5-2 this season with Boston College, a 2.7 goals against average and a .905 save percentage. Team USA, Middlestat up the middle. Through center with speed on the outside. Hits the brakes, waits for support. Gets it back and backhands it deep along the half wall. Battle for it along the boards. Squirts to the line and out. Belarus takes it, clears it across. Radoshenko clears it in. Back first is Perenovic for Team USA. He'll wait for some help behind the cage. He'll keep it himself, calls for a second time.
Belarus is really going to play the trap style, Steve, because, again, they can't match up firepower-wise.
Here comes Team USA. Tkachuk cuts the middle. His shot goes off a skate into the corner along the end boards. Tkachuk comes out with it, comes away from him. Out in front, centering pass, and the shot goes off a stick and out of play. Yamamoto right out in front and just couldn't capitalize. Chris, you talked about the opportunity at Team USA. You kind of expect us to be a little lopsided by the end of the third period.
Yeah, it's just because, Belarus, there's only 41 rinks in that country, Steve. And again, throughout the night, we're going to educate you about Belarus hockey and all that good stuff. And I think people appreciate the challenge that they'll be facing.
Mikey Anderson from the point, got it back down low. Belarus scoops, and Drozdov tried to clear it out, held in. Opportunity, Team USA. Yamamoto back behind the net. Hits the brakes, now for Brown. Brown looking, backdoor pass and sneaking in from the point. Nicely done by Peak, but it was tipped. Cleared back into the USA end. Tracked down first by Anderson. Mikey Anderson in the lineup. Joey Anderson, announced the captain 2 days ago, is not in the lineup. Healthy scratch, that is. Head coach Bob Mosko and the Team USA crew figure out the lineup going forward as they, again, on their road to Buffalo, New York. Team USA holds in deep. Belarus and Nisimov all the way around. Cleared out to center. Right back onto the stick of Amisimov. In over the line. Cleared back down low. Amisimov again. Waits. Pressed into the wall. Play continues up the near side wall. With space, fakes the shot and then kind of fans on it. Lukashevich had it, lost it. Picked up by Team USA as they start out to center. On the rush, McGing. Frederick cuts the middle with time and space. Takes the shot off a stick. Clears off the glass. And we'll be back out to center ice. Belarus at center red. Tipped away and poke checked by the defense. Backhanded in. Team USA will go behind the net. Taking their time on the rush. Here's Jones on the left wing side. Jones with speed down the wing. Corrals around. Looking into the slot. Shot. They score! Riley Walsh sneaks in for the point on a terrific pass from Jones. And Walsh opens up the scoring 1-0.
Well, U.S. took the pass, and they came over the blue line with a lot of speed, Steve. And what happened is that you saw the pass, the puck went behind the net, and obviously you want people in the slot, and that's what you got. And it was a great one-time shot, top shelf for number 2, Riley Walsh. And he was a third-round pick of the New Jersey Devils, as you can see in the highlights. Came wrapping around. Riley came jumping in from the top and put it home.
Jones carried it into the left wing side. the Michigan native, and he worked it over Riley Walsh, who's playing currently at Harvard. In his 10 games, he's got 3 goals and 5 assists for the Crimson. So the opening goal to Riley Walsh in this exhibition game is Belarus and USA here from Jamestown. Here comes Team USA in the rush. Coach Bob Moska before the game talked about speed being a big factor here. Walsh centers out the middle, right in the slot, picked off. Here's an opportunity for a breakaway. Drozdov in! Save made by Joe Wall. Dancing his middle stat. Gets it back out to center. Drozdov then picked off. Here's Bellows. Shot just wide. As he went racing in. Tufte puts his man into the wall. USA takes back control. Bellows again. Bellows cuts the middle. Bouncing puck. Tips away from him. And Drozdov up the boards and out for Belarus. USA takes it back. Tufte ahead. Middlestad on his backhand now. Sauces it over. Bellows hops away from him. Regains control. Middlestad looking back along the blue line. Walks the line. Takes the long shot. Save made. Rebound. And chipped just wide by Tufte as he comes off. Hunched over a little bit looking for some air and some reinforcements. Anderson poked away. Wall will leave it there for Perunovic. Steps out. Retraces his steps. And now he'll regain again as a 5-man rush on the breakout. USA, Chris, using the end-to-end style as they're trying to break up the trap and send everyone forward on a 5-man breakout unit.
I think you're going to see in this tournament, especially when the upper teams, Canada, Sweden, Russia, the 5-man wave. And on this breakaway, going back to the highlights real quick, is that Drozdov, Ivan Drozdov. Wow, it could be a long night, Steve, with these names. But anyway,
Ivan Drozdov.
You won't see too many of those opportunities given up by the United States tonight.
Team USA in again. The shot just whistled wide by Kayla Yamamoto. Yamamoto, picked up by Edmonton, has played a few games for the club this year. And he's had a good showing so far. Tkachuk, Brown back to Tkachuk. He turns around with space. Yamamoto got his pocket picked, and Belarus starts back out to center. Team USA immediately collapses on the puck as they send the pass right back forward for Yamamoto. He carries right back into the offensive zone. Gets by the defense. Tkachuk blasted, but Brown comes up with it. Back to the point. That one's picked off. A drop pass. Team USA gathers it right back on the outside. Yamamoto wheels away from pressure. On the half wall, taking his time. Yamamoto steps up, fakes the drop pass. And then it got taken away a second time as Gustav turns it around for Belarus. Kemp to the middle, mishandled there by McGing, and Belarus takes it away. Along the boards, trying to break out to center, they will finally. Borostev, he got his pocket picked. Right back the other way was McGing. McGing trying to get it back, couldn't. Shushko, who is the captain for this Belarus team, delayed offside against Belarus, and we have a whistle with 13:51 to go here in this opening period.
You know, the way that Belarus is playing, Steve, it's really difficult. They're putting 4 guys in the neutral zone. They're trying to slow the game. They're going to dump and chip it. And for the United States, they want about speed. You know, talking to the head coach, you know, he really made it clear that he wants five men, full speed, and pushing and push. And Belarus do not want to get into a track meet. And as you can see, they're playing the 4-man in the neutral zone, 1-4, and it's perfect what we call trap hockey.
Enter the zone with speed. It's turned over. Here's a chance, 3-on-1 if they hurry for Belarus. Drozdov, who had the breakaway, gets it over the shot, and it just whistles wide as the puck rolled on him a little bit off the stick of Madagletsky. Norris wheels in. Centering pass goes off a skate. First one there is Bedini for the U.S. Bedini and the Americans have controlled much of this first period as we're about 7 minutes in.
When you're trying to go 5 guys up it real fast, it's really hard. If you make a bad pass, you ended up with like a little 3-on-1 like Belarus just had.
Pass off the mark. USA will capitalize, regroup, and come right back up the middle. Pass just a little bit too far for Tufte. Touched Poke check back out. Middlestat will settle it down back in his own end. Slings it for Sandberg. Back across. Tufte pokes it forward. Dodges the check as they continue in. Martinoff up the boards. Slowed down again. Here's Middlestat in the middle. Waits, drag, he scores! Some nifty stick work from the Buffalo Sabres prospect as he lights the lamp and fires it into the back of that. It's now 2-0 USA.
Again, Belarus kind of got running around a little bit in their zone, and they lost track. And Middlestat was just standing right in the slots. Puck came right across, and he knows what to do with it.
8th overall pick in this year's draft. Here's a look again. It comes, finds way to Middlestat, waits. Little drag, changes the angle on the shot, and then fires it home.
Bernardchuk for Belarus kind of got stuck on an island there. He didn't know where to go. He just stood there in the middle, and Middlestat took care of that.
Rodick redirects that aside into the far corner. Tkachuk taking his time, slings it to the front. So Riley Tufte the assist on the goal to Middlestat, the second in this exhibition matchup. First one Riley Walsh, second Casey Middlestat.
A big part of this tournament is going to be face-offs. Obviously winning the face-off, Steve, and getting control in the offensive zone is a priority for the United States.
Anderson back at the point. Down low, Tkachuk on his forehand off the half. Well, pardon me, it's Yamamoto. And that shot goes off the crossbar on the backside. Brown had a chance.
This line is put together. We have some size, 6'6". Logan, 6'3", Tkachuk, and Yamamoto, nice, big, tall, 5'8". Logan and Yamamoto, Steve, played in the NHL this year. Yamamoto played 9 games for the Oilers, had 3 assists, and Logan Brown played 4 games, had 1 assist for the Ottawa Senators. So that experience will play huge for the United States.
Trent Frederick wins the draw back to Team USA in the defensive core as that one gets rifled in off the end boards. Lockwood chips out to center. Batted down out of the air, but here comes Belarus with speed up the middle. Trying to drag play, but defense core stays right with him. Over turnover again, that shot blocked. Right into the slot, swing and a miss. Second attempt just goes wide as Belarus gets 2 opportunities there.
Sure.
Lockwood gets his legs taken out along the boards, gets right back up, and he applies a little extra pressure back as a thank you very much. A little give and take. McGing to the middle. Shot. Score! On the stick of Phil Kent for less than a second as he rips that one right behind Rodick.
What happened? Number 16, Sharagodich, lost puck along the boards, and that turned it around for the United States, and they came flying across.
And they have run Rodick already 3-0 just past the 9-minute mark, and it will be Andrei Grishenko now that takes to the pipes. You see it here again. Great patience. Waits, walks in, just let her fly.
And again, what happened was the Belarus was inside the American zone, and it seemed like they got trapped and they got tired, and obviously the transition game for the Americans played a big role on that play. But though you have to give credit to Sharagovich, Steve, you know, he's probably the biggest player on the Belarus team, and he had a great opportunity. But again, getting off the ice is a challenge, and the United States can just come out with waves, and Belarus just doesn't have that.
Third goal for Team USA. You talk about the groupings. There are 10 teams total in this World Junior Tournament. In Group A, USA, Canada, Denmark, Slovakia, and Finland. In Group B, you have Russia, Sweden, the Czech Republic, Switzerland, and Belarus. Great job by Walsh, pulls it down. Here's Jones, a little drag, then it's chipped away from him into the boards. Little collision there inside the corner. Both teams battle for it. Still along the wall in the fray. Doug Free, Team USA gets it back again. And misses Badini. Jones muscles his man off the puck. Bedini back, spins away from pressure. And then it's poke check behind the net by Belarus. Magaletsky takes his time with it and clears it out to center. Dylan Sandberg, the Minnesota native who plays for Minnesota Duluth. In the NCHC, second round draft pick of the Winnipeg Jets. Gets it back. Now here's a 3-on-2 inside the zone. Backhand shot, knocked away by Wall. Cleared back to the point, but not out. Middlestat clears it down. Here's a chance, 2-on-1. Tufte on the right side on his backhand. Over, they score! Another terrific play. Kiefer Bellows goes upstairs where Mama puts the kids to bed, and Team USA now has 4.
Well, Steve, very simple. Belarus is trying to do a 5-man attack similar to the United States, and they just pitch into at the blue line, and the defensemen are standing still, and as soon as they turn the puck over, U.S. is just gone. And obviously, you saw a 2-on-1. Here's the replay. As you can see, a nice saucer pass to Bellows, the son of Brian Bellows, and you can tell I'm getting old because I used to watch his father play way back when he played for the Minnesota North Stars.
Tufte, Bellows from Tufte, the 4th goal of the game, and that is Tufte's 2nd assist as he takes the shot that time. And that one caroms along the dasher and all the way back into USA territory. And a nice goal in tight space by Kiefer Bellows to get that to the roof. Tufte in, Middlestat settles it down. Middlestat stick handles through some pressure, goes behind the net, sauces it out, turnaround shot blocked, finally settles down into the corner and taken by Derabin for Belarus as they charge out to center ice. Still with it, knocked off the puck by Tufte. Middlestat gets it back, Perinovic to the net. And Perinovic tried, but was broken up. The defenseman still inside the zone. That one comes back to center. Here comes Belarus. Goes off a leg. It's delayed offside. They reach for it, does Belarus, and we'll have a whistle on the delayed offside.
The size difference, unfortunately, for Belarus is kind of like men versus boys, and we're only 12 minutes into the first period, Steve. But again, Belarus, they don't know what to do in the sense of the defensemen come up, but though the Americans are playing A behind them or they're cutting up that middle in that outlet pass, Belarus just doesn't know how to close in on them up the middle.
Long shot, big save made by Grushenko, and the long rebound actually exits the zone. Hughes on the escape, cross ice pass, and connects to Yamamoto. His centering pass for Tkachuk. That one drifts off in the corner. On the redirection, the battle in the corner. Both teams whacking. Brown going to come out with it. Gets it back to the point. Hughes toes the line. Gets it across. Past the middle. Loose puck in the center. Broken up and back out to center by Belarus. Hughes steps back up with speed. Wide open middle. Takes it in. It can still controls in the corner. Spins off the pressure. Belarus takes it back and clears it down the ice. Goes off a skate. A delayed icing. Will it be far enough? It is. And it's icing against Belarus. And international hockey rules, just like in the NHL now, there is no longer a change on the icing.
As you can see, Belarus is backing up. And if you're going to allow the Americans to come over the blue line with 5 men coming in fast and you're caving down, it's going to make it really hard for the Belarus goalie, because if you're backing up, it just gives all kinds of open space for the wingers. And if the U.S. keeps on doing that, it's going to be a long, long night.
Belarus thwarted on the exit attempt right at the blue line. Second attempt, they will get it out. Good D-to-D pass, looking strength through the middle. It's icing here against the U.S. team this time.
Maximum Shalesko actually plays in the Western Hockey League. And I shouldn't say the Western Hockey League, the Ontario Hockey League. He plays for the Owen Sound Hockey Club, and he was a 4th-round pick of the Philadelphia Flyers. So the first line for Belarus, Steve, has some talent. But that first line may not even make a team like Sweden, Canada, or the United States.
Hard into the boards. Oh, no. And down in the corner is Will Lockwood. He is holding his wrist. And You can hear him. He looks like he may have done some serious damage. Immediately onto the ice, Stan Wong, the trainer, or one of the trainers on the staff, and heading right to the dressing room is Will Lockwood. He went full speed ahead, and he knew it immediately.
I don't know if he stepped on the stick, right, or he just completely just lost an edge, but he went in really hard, Steve, and he grabbed his wrist, and you could hear him in agony way up here in the press box area, and he went straight off. So hopefully it's not too serious, but I guarantee you the U.S. doctors will be looking after him right away.
So here it is again. They kind of collide, and he goes full speed in it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, he just kind of lost his edge, and his right knee got bent, and he just went into the boards really awkwardly, and I believe he just put his arms up to lessen the blow, and unfortunately, he might have wrenched it pretty good. Hopefully, he'll be okay.
Yeah, you just hope something's not broken there, and then all it is. That's Will Lockwood, the Bloomfield Hills, Michigan native. And this team has just come together. They played together over the summer in the development camps, and then as Middlestat takes it back over, skates just a little bit, reaches back and pulls it back in. He's being harassed, and that shot! Woo! Riley Tufte with two helpers, and this time he gets one of his own on the assist from Casey Middlestat.
Wow, the puck came right to him, right in the slot. And they're going high on the Belarus goaltending tonight. And Tufte just grabbed it, and he just ripped it home.
Tufte, the snipe, right in the slot. And Casey Middlestat in the second goal of the game. Middlestat with the goal, and Tufte with the helper, and just back the other way.
Tufte is the first-round pick of the Dallas Stars, and you can see where he has an opportunity. He knows where to put the puck. But again, Steve, you can see Belarus leaving the middle of the ice wide open.
Middlestat dragged the leg. Wide open back to the top. Long shot, glove down by Grishenko as Sandberg let that fly.
It was a nice save by Slensko. He was able to see it. And again, another high shot, glove side.
6 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in this first period. A 5-0 lead for Team USA. And you wonder, with Will Lockwood out, who was playing with Frederick and McGing, you wonder how it changes the lines for head coach Bob Mosko, as now he has to change some things around.
Well, he talks about giving, opportunity to players to see what they can do in different circumstances, and having one less forward will provide a lot of opportunity for a lot of wingers.
This is the second line for Team USA here, the Tkachuk, Brown, Yamamoto line, as they get the opportunity out now. Trying to walk the defense, staying with them, trying to center. Again, the defense there to break it up. Brown for Tkachuk. Tkachuk centering pass, poked it away. USA stays with it. Yamamoto in tight. Shot, save, rebound is out. USA there first. Backside effort. Looking for Yamamoto. Went right through his skates. He gets planted to the ice. Back for Tkachuk and Bellows. That's Brown. And then poke check back Belarus under duress. Here is Team USA pouring it on. Approaching 5 minutes to go here in this opening period.
It's going to be really difficult. Obviously, when the U.S. plays Sweden for Friday night, whole different type of speed. Can you imagine Yamamoto and Logan Brown playing a National Hockey League game and playing in this type of game, which Belarus is trying to slow it down as slow as possible?
McGing takes it off the skate, fires one into the breadbasket of Grishenko. You're not kidding, Chris. The speed, not only at the NHL level, one of the things that people have started to really love about this World Junior Tournament is the fact that these players are playing pretty close to that level of play. You're getting NHL prospects who are really seeing that speed that you'll see at the next level.
Well, again, the United States have 7 returning players from last year's gold medal squad. They have 10 first-round picks, Steve, right? 2 for the Dallas Stars and 2 from the New Jersey Devils. So, again, when you're talking about 10 first-round picks, we're not just talking like, everybody came from a little state. as in like college football, everybody goes to the NFL that plays in the United States. You're talking about around the world being one of the top 31, hockey players in the world going in the first round.
A whistle on a face-off violation, so they'll do it again.
And, it's hard for Belarus because they only have a little over 3,700 players. And it's really difficult to play and build that type of skill set. In the United States, these players are playing college hockey, USHL, and the Canadian Hockey League, and they're playing top-notch talent against each other and with each other every single night.
Quite a few of these players have skated with the USA Hockey's national development team and the program that they've put together.
Yes, there's 7, like I said, there's 7 coming back from last year's gold medal team, and they have 12 that come through the developmental program, so they've known each other for a long, long time.
Kemp, try to leave it back there behind the net. Battling for it, cleared back out of the high slot. That was taken down. And this is Jones now. Jones at center, just backhands it high, right on goal. And no rebound as it's pulled right back in immediately.
When you're talking about a definition of a goal scorer, Steve, Max Jones is a definition. He plays for the London Knights of the Ontario Hockey League, and he has 14 goals this year and 1 assist. So obviously,
that's in 21 games.
Yes. So you can tell he's there to shoot the puck. And the great thing about the junior hockey, Steve, you get a lot of high-scoring games. Why? Because they are young. They're all under 20 years of age. And when their mistakes are made, the talent offensively are able to put it in the net. So you get to see the 5-4, 6-5 as we did last year. And I believe the final score was a shootout between Canada and the United States. And I believe with the shootout goal, it was 6-5 final.
Yeah, it was an impressive finish that sent Team USA to the gold medal in Canada, in Montreal, over Team Canada. And this year, Team USA has a chance to win gold and protect the gold on their home turf.
And with international hockey, if you lose your helmet, you have to leave right away. You cannot play the puck or partake in any of the play, or you will receive a penalty. So as you can see, as the Belarus player, I believe it was Shesko, came off the ice without a helmet.
So you don't have to, in college, they blow the play immediately, and which is most of these level of players are playing in. In junior, you can still play. And then also an American junior or Canadian junior. But then in an international junior, you are correct, Chris, immediately you must leave the ice. Wheeling back, Derabin. 2.5 to go here in this first stanza as Belarus now enters the zone. Waits, shot to the net, that one just goes wide. Middlestat pokes it forward, try to get it past the first wave of defense, and he gives a couple shots, and then right back to him was Derabin. And we got a delayed penalty coming up here on Belarus as Middlestat took one of the mush. Sauced out, here's Brown protecting with his right leg. Brown into the zone. Another job protecting the puck with that big long reach. Backside, shot, score! On the delayed penalty, Mikey Anderson snuck in for number 6.
Again, Belarus started just to chase the puck, Steve, and they didn't see the backside. And then what happened, Kiefer Bellows came jumping in, or I should say Mickey Anderson, number 24, came jumping in. Puck went right across, and the Belarus guys were all watching the puck. And as you can see on replay here, you'll watch Belarus, they lost control there. Oh, that was a previous goal. I believe that was Logan
the
Brown.
Previous one by Riley Tufte on the back pass
was that
from
Tufte?
Casey Middlestat.
We're getting our games worked out, and this is our first
look
game
at
of the
Team
year.
USA as well, as Team USA still hasn't picked their team. Team Canada has finalized their roster. Team USA will finalize it over the next couple of games, and as they get set to head to Buffalo.
You want to talk about quality. The goalie that won the Memorial Cup for the Windsor Spitfire, Paul DiPietro, was cut today by Team Canada. And this is what's unfortunately is going to happen to some of the players here in the United States. High quality.
Here's the goal. Here's the goal. Brown protects.
As you can see,
holds.
Belarus wasn't looking, and then the puck came right across. And what do you see? Mickey Anderson comes sneaking in from the point or from the side and ripped it again, top shelf. So again, Belarus is trying to play that box and trying to kind of play positional hockey, but they're not able to keep up with the flow of the puck and the pass going across fast. And again, Belarus is not doing a very good job getting the sticks in the lanes, trying to knock that pass from going across. I believe that's the third goal tonight, Steve, of cross passes from the side boards that ended up in the nets.
And the big Logan Brown, 6'6", certainly a great job protecting as he's able to shield off anybody with that size. So power play here for Belarus. As the Belarusian team looks to get on the board here. Back to the point, long shot, blocked on the way through. And it's scooped up and taken by Bedini. He's harassed from behind. Bedini trying to poke into the front. It's held into the point. Slashing was the call. Assessed to Team USA. Held in, Belarus, the shot, deflected away. Can they regain control? They do not before Team USA will just send it down the ice.
Gomezko talked about the importance of penalty killing and going into the tournament. Let me tell you, if you look at over the last 3-4 World Juniors, power play goals they play a huge factor in games.
They do indeed. On the peel back, Belarus with less than 30 to go here in the period. And that one goes off a stick and out of play. Face off inside the USA zone to the left side of Joseph Wall.
The type of penalty that took place here along the boards is that when you have both teams going at the same time, people say things, something happens on the ice that you didn't like, and then obviously you come by and right before you get on the bench, you give the guy a whack. And in international hockey, they're very picky. This is not like the NHL or the OHL where sometimes, they kind of leave that stuff go.
And Tkachuk took one in the face, looking for a call, gets right back up, is up the face-off. It looks to me like there's some blood there. And the rebound, what another save by Joseph Wall. 3 in a row. Spectacular effort by the goaltender. And the Boston College Eagle, and you can see Tkachuk none too pleased of a no call there. He's leaking a little bit.
I don't know if the stick rammed up his blade, but though if you look at this great save by Wall,
1,
third
2,
round,
and 3.
Third round pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and let me tell you, Steve, people from Toronto, they are talking extremely high on that young man.
Here it is,
as
right
you
here.
Can see.
It was one of his own players, actually. The first one got him, then it was Riley Tufte coming in, hit him right in the face.
You want to talk about bad luck, he got whacked twice.
He did get whacked twice.
And I think his...
Welcome back to Jamestown, New York, Northwest Arena. We're at about an hour and a half drive from Buffalo, the home site of where these World Juniors will cultivate in just a few days. Team USA had it and lost it. Trent Frederick. Belarus still in a power play for 15 seconds. Frederick on his forehand turns and launches it right down the ice. That'll pretty much kill off the remainder of the penalty to Team USA.
The line of Bellows, Millistats, and Tufte put on a show. They all had goals in the first period.
Chipped out, here's a 2-on-1. Hughes launches the pass and airmails it just over the top of Tkachuk. Back to center. Belarus walks in, the shot, kick save made by Woll. And Team USA starts out to center. Yamamoto lost the handle on it. Chipped off the wall, Yamamoto leaves it there for Brown. Brown gets through wave 1. The big, long 6'6" forward takes his shot. Save straight up in the air. Brown gloves it down. Shields leaves it for Tkachuk. Yamamoto now takes it to Brown. And it's thwarted and back out to center. Here comes Belarus. Slowing things down is Martinov. Off the wall, back out to center ice. Brown, stick handles in, drops it off. Waits to center, Yamamoto. Brown, down low, across, touch pass. Oh, what a glove save by Grishenko, coming post to post with the glove.
Belarus just keeps on skating back and back and back, and then they get to a point, Steve, they have no place to go, and you're literally seeing 4 players just stand side by each, as we used to say. And again, that cross ice pass, and the U.S., again, look at the replay right there on the back side, and what a save by Grenchko.
Icing against Belarus. Face off to the left side of Andrei Grishenko, the goaltender for Belarus.
The coaching staff for the U.S. will have a really hard time, evaluating due to the fact that when you're playing like this, you want to go, go, go. And Belarus is not an atypical team. And reading reports, Steve, their goal is not to get redelegated after this tournament. So they qualified, and they're going to do whatever they can not to be obviously shipped back to having to requalify for next year.
Team USA's player personnel department consists of Ben Smith and Ryan Martin. The architect at the top of that chain is Jim Johansson, the general manager of this squad. We'll get to the coaching staff in the next stoppage in play and go over all those players. As Team USA takes their time, 17:50 to go here in the middle period. Wheeling along his middle step. Leaves it back to the top. Hughes wheels back across ice pass, middle stat, walks to the middle. Looks back for Hughes. Hughes takes it. Presses it along, back to middle stat again. Still holding. Nice move. Comes off the middle. Waits. Trying to drag shot. And it's tipped away from him and cleared to center. Nifty play off the wall there by Middlestat. And a lot of eyes in Buffalo will be on number 11 for Team USA, as he's a Buffalo Sabres draft pick. And in this year's draft, was picked number 8 overall. Plays his college hockey, University of Minnesota, for the Golden Gophers, and a former Golden Gopher Buffalo Sabre is a high draft pick in the first round, and Thomas Vanek, a player who Coach Bob Motzko was coached when he was at Minnesota as an assistant coach. McGing into the zone.
It's really apparent, Steve. You're seeing one team pass the puck crisp, fast, and they want to go, go, go. And unfortunately, Belarus is just trying to, clog up space and watch and see they're going to back up again.
Frederick with room. Backhands pass, glove down. Sandberg takes the shot. Kick save off the left pad. And Belarus gets it back. You can definitely see that, Chris, is the gap control and the tightness of Team USA is there, whereas Belarus is certainly giving them space to work.
Obviously you can't match them, but when you're defending, attack, and get in people's faces.
And those big bodies using the physicality. Belarus through center. Sharajanov. Long shot, saved by Wall. And a whistle.
Again, Belarus had, probably 3 scoring chances in the first period. The breakaway, and then obviously during the power play. And again, Belarus is one of those teams, like all the lower teams such as Denmark and Slovenia and Slovakia, they have to score on their chances because they may only get maybe 5 or 6 in a whole game. And that's tough to do, scoring with such a low opportunity rate.
We will talk about the coaching staff in the next whistle here as Belarus takes it ahead. A little too far. Team USA touch pass. Tufte walked right back in. Weird angle on the backhand, trying to shovel it in was Badini. Tried some nifty spin moves in front, couldn't control. Backing out, Team USA taking on the rush, and a 4-man rush of Belarus. On the right side of the ice, gets through wave 1 to the middle. Knocked away by the defensive Team USA, and the Americans come right back. Up the middle. Quick touch pass, Brown on the outside. Brown behind for Kachuk. Tries to duck underneath the check. And Yamamoto comes all the way back in the back check. Chip right before the red line. Icing negated as it was played by the netminder for Team USA and Wool. And Brown comes right back through the middle. With space. The long shot. Scores! Quinn Hughes tucks that one under the for the 7th of the game. Logan Brown into the zone. Great play to create time and space to back off the pressure. Hughes, the trailer, and he, the beneficiary of a terrific pass from Brown.
Wow, he basically had a breakaway from the blue line in. And again, Belarus got caught chasing. And again, the U.S. has been able to hit the guy from across or hitting the guy coming in. And once again, top shelf, Quinn Hughes ripped it home to make it 7-0, the U.S.
Back-to-back helpers for Brown. A chance again, another shot, and a goal. Kiefer Bellows with number 2. The first one on the ice today with a pair in the goal column. And what a pretty one there it was again. Chris, you talked about Team USA looking to go top shelf on the Belarus goaltenders as the turnover right at center and nifty poke, and then Kiefer Bellows just snipes one.
I don't think many goalies were able to stop that, Steve. And again, if you're talking about goaltending, the butterfly style, the goalies are so good playing low and scoring the goals along the ice, as you can see in the National Hockey League and throughout college and basically hockey in general. It's really, really hard to score, and shooting high is the key. That's the way to score goals now.
And they're going to do this again, the goalie exchange. So the player who started in Dmitry Rodick is now coming back onto the ice as he was run earlier. And Team USA now has a snowman on the board.
And again, for all those people who are watching, you can watch all the United States hockey games of this tournament starting on Boxing Day, December the 26th, on the NHL Network. Their first game is against Denmark at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. And again, Steve, like I said, you feel bad, for the goalies. When the players are outmatched, the goalies are usually the ones that really take it. And again, to give credit to the Belarus coaching staff, bringing the goalies in and out, I don't think that's a very bad idea. I think to get them and try to slow things down, and you don't want to destroy them right off the bat. And again, I thought the goaltending has been good. The goals that they've given up, they're not easy goals. Like, they were great shots, top shelf, out in front, nobody around. As a goalie, you need some help.
Team USA, and Middlestad again on the rush. Drags it past the defense, hits the brakes, tries to spin away from pressure. And now you see Hugh McGing has now moved up on the line. Well, maybe a late change there. I'm doing some line jostling here.
I love this rule, and I think even a better rule says you can't call a timeout after an icing, and they've included that in the National Hockey League. I'm pretty sure that you can't call a timeout here either, Steve. And I think not being able to call a timeout when you're tired, great advantage to the offensive team. Because I know, Steve, when you played, a lot of people called you Mr. Icing.
Hey, listen, the coaches always told us, when in doubt, get it out. When we played, there was no rule like that, and I think that's the best addition in the rule changes to any sport. I think that's the best one, is icing was always considered a penalty, but there was no penalty for it.
I come from the school of Chris Chilios. When in doubt, flick it over the glass, and they changed that rule too. So
Team USA in the breakout, a 5-man unit rush. And a break past the defense, they get the puck right back. At the top, Anderson takes his shot. Save made up high. Belarus will clear to center.
They have Federic playing with Yamamoto and Logan Brown.
Belarus chips to center. Stolen back by Team USA. The Americans D to D. Hughes begins the rush. Up the middle, trying to dangle through and does. Hughes the shot up top. Save made, rebound, and it settles down behind the cage. Back to the point. A little bit too hot for Hughes as it goes back to center ice. Backpedaling his peak. Flings the pass ahead. Bedini with speed down the left wing side. Gets through 2 waves. Backhands it out in front, and it's knocked away by the defense of Belarus. Back to the line. Slowed down, but not enough to hold in, is Hughes. Hughes, little escape back on the forehand. His pass, gets it back, spin move, then knocked away with the defense of Belarus. Tag up, after it, off the wall. Braced for the impact along the boards. Team USA pass to Kemp. Kemp. Yamamoto back to Kemp. Kemp shovels it on the back end of the corner. Continued along. Pass out in front. Bouncing puck. Bedini tracks it down. And then swings it back to the defense on a regroup. Quickly back in. Jones. Pass over. Yamamoto just tapped off his stick. We have a whistle as the net has come off the moorings there. Talking about the assistant coaches for Team USA, Bob Motzko is the figurehead of the group. Greg Brown, Grant Patolny, Chris Mayette, and Steve Miller are all the additional assistant coaches on this Team USA squad. As you see that pass, Yamamoto just couldn't get enough of it, and it goes past Dmitry Rodick.
And when you're in a game like this, Steve, everyone's trying to get a goal for each other. And again, nice little saucer pass, just a little bit too close to the net for them to get it redirected. But again, that's another big factor Steve's going to be in is the line changes when you got the long change. And you could see that opportunity for the U.S. was based that Belarus was tired and they're trying to all get off, and then you got the far side wide open.
Look at the footwork from Casey Middlestad in the hands, but his pass just a touch behind, and it's offside. 11-17 here in period 2, 8 on the board.
So again, Steve, like I said, we have 10 states being represented from the United States out of the 50, and the most coming out of the state of Minnesota with 10.
Long shot snapped out of the air by Wool.
Then we have 4 from Missouri, 3 from Michigan, 2 from Sunshine, Florida, 3 from Connecticut, and 1 from Illinois, Washington State, New York, Alaska, and Massachusetts has 1. We have 4 Boston University hockey players, and we have 5 Minnesota Duluth.
The goaltender, who's not playing tonight, who is on this roster, Jeremy Swayman, is the gentleman from Alaska, the longest trip here to the state of New York. Belarus back in their own end. And Team USA is playing that fast-paced defensive style as well, taking away all time and space from this Belarus team, Chris.
The key of this whole tournament is the ability to back check, and the United States are doing a wonderful job in doing so.
Kachuk looking, glove down by Belarus. Up ahead, and the Belarusian team trying to keep pace here, down by 8, looking to at least get one on the board and try to build off that. Nice check by Kachuk. And we have a whistle, as I believe they're calling a hand pass, or the puck went into the bench. I'm not really sure.
You know, the key as the tournament goes on, discipline will be a big factor. And again, we've talked about it earlier, how important the power play and the penalty killing is. And again, you know, with guys like Tkachuk that like to be physical and so on, you got to kind of control your temper and your emotions, because taking a bad penalty at the wrong time could cost you a medal, cost you, you know, a day off.
Bouncing puck goes off a shin pad. Far side boards. Team USA holds it in. Second attempt, it's cleared just outside the zone. Knocked down nicely by Tufte as he takes a stick in the face. And the Belarusian player who takes the penalty is Nazar Anisimov, and he was immediately shaking his head no. I'm not really sure why, and he was shaking his finger, but it was clear as day that he hit Riley Tufte right in the face.
When you're so undersized, you want to play physical. Usually when you do that, you're using your stick, right? You're going to get your arms up, because physically you can't physically body check them. So you want to use your arms, your force, and the stick kind of just got up. And
so the power play unit for Team USA, Middlestead up the middle, Yamamoto on the right wing, Brown on the left side, and the defenseman with Bellows, who's the left-handed shot, working on the right side point. He's along with Quinn Hughes, is the only actual defenseman on the ice for Team USA. Look at Belarus coming all the way down between the hash marks and playing a little 1-1-2 on the one and read. But Team USA with their speed will break right through into the zone. Middlestead goes all the way behind Minette Yamamoto. Pressed, Brown in for help. Belarus slaps it, not out of the zone actually. Hughes got enough to hold it in. Hughes seals his man, takes the puck right away from him, and they immediately come back out to center. Brown in over the line, holds, pass for Bellows. Hughes dangles away, then slings it over for Middlestead. Middlestead inside, we have a whistle. And it'll be a crease violation on Yamamoto, and he's hasn't moved yet, checking behind him, but apparently the referee saw something different.
It was, that's kind of funny, see, because the first goal that the United States scored this evening, the referee was going to blow the whistle. His arm was coming up to blow the whistle because the United States was in the crease, and then the puck went in and he put the whistle down. So again, that's a little unique rule for international play. You cannot have any part of your body, your skate, in the blue area.
Taken off his feet, a chance for Belarus on the breakaway. The defense was there to negate that opportunity. Team USA in the breakout will be led by Perenovic. Here comes Walsh in. Walsh, bouncing puck, holds onto it. Harassed a little bit there on the outside for a pass, goes off a skate and then cleared by Belarus.
This is a good practice power play for the United States. Obviously, you would like to get as many as you can to get, you know, the bugs worked out, get everybody going on the same page.
Walsh walks in, sends it to the front. The shot goes off a skate on the way through. It was blocked partially and cleared. 9 seconds remaining on the man advantage for Team USA. No one back defensively. And it's goaltender Wall one-on-one with one of the Belarus forwards.
I don't think I've ever seen that, Steve.
I have never seen that either.
Belarus did a wonderful job penalty killing. Good effort, right? Very committed.
Things are getting a little chippy out there as Bedini was directed into the wall. This Belarusian team certainly has pride of their own. Here's a 3-on-2. Inverted triangle opportunity. The shot, and it goes off the post.
Again, bad line change for Belarus. They only had 2 guys back, and there was nobody around for the 3-on-2 for the U.S. But Steve, I would love to see that. How did the Belarus player was behind the net one-on-one, and there was like nobody around?
Yeah, the defenseman who was the first one there actually called for a line change, assuming that someone was there to support, and it just didn't happen. Here's Middlestead, blazing through center. A 1-on-3, and he's still able to hold the puck. Second support player comes over, and Belarus clears it around and out to center ice.
The Buffalo Sabres should be really happy with that pick. Casey Milstead, the size, the playmaking ability, the skating. What a 1-2 punch he's going to be.
Delayed offside is jumping a touch early was Yamamoto, and at the Sabres, you watch him in development camp this summer when he first came in, and wow, you see some of the stuff he can do even at the NHL level with some of those players. It's very special.
And the key, you need two great world-class centermen to compete. And when Middlestad gets to Buffalo, him and Eichel, that'll be a nice 1-2 punch.
The Sabres could use some help this year, as they're certainly haven't played, I believe, to the potential they think they could play to. But here's an opportunity for Team USA out in front. Yamamoto off his skates. Couldn't get it clean back to his stick.
Oh, that was a high stick.
Kiefer Bellows dodged the bullet there. Get it up high.
Vladislav Malarchuk basically cross-checked right in the face.
Middlestat dangles in. Yamamoto on the backhander, just wide. As he takes the hit into the corner. Hughes. And look at this defensive core and how Team USA comes back so quickly.
When you're cut down the space from the backside, there's really nothing. There's no place to go, and it's all about spacing. And again, when you have all that back checking, really hard to do anything offensively, but just to shoot it.
The back checking of Team USA, they certainly do not give up, and here's a reason why. Turnover at the line. To the top, here's Brown. Brown shoots. Glove save. Rebound, they score. Kachuk right there on the doorstep. Bouncing puck for Kachuk. And number 9.
Again, a turnover right at the blue line. Great pressure by the United States. The puck came down low. Beautiful pass from Logan Brown to Brady Kachuk. And again, the Belarus goaltender had no chance. 9-0. The U.S. with 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second period.
One timer out of the slot. Tufte fired that one, but it just goes a little bit out of play for the 6'5" forward who plays in Minnesota Duluth. He's got 6 goals and 3 assists, and here's that turnover as Kachuk moves back. It goes to Brown. Brown fires, and Kachuk doesn't stop moving his feet and just touches that backhander home.
That was the first low shot we've seen tonight, basically, and unfortunately, the goaltender should have had that with the glove. And again, right place, right time. If you don't make the save and there's a rebound, there's players all over the crease to bang it home.
A turnover, 3-on-1. Here's Tufte on the outside. Tufte goes off a skate. And here comes Belarus, 3-on-2. Little different look on the entry for Belarus as they try to go up high, and it was read perfectly by the weak side defenseman. Tufte back in. Dodges the check. Point, bounce play back on the corner. An errant stick on the ice from one of the defensemen of Belarus. Jones will hold it in. He brushes off the check. Team USA continues to control. Sandberg for Frederick. Shot, scores! It goes right through the goaltender. And it's double digits now for Team USA. Frederick just blasted it right through him, and I think Rodick thought he had it, but the terrific shot, and one of those you're not expecting, I guess you'd say. And Trent Frederick, the Wisconsin Badger, picks up his first of the game.
The fatigue factor, you could tell Belarus was just hanging on for dear life, and unfortunately, like I said, the U.S. was able to keep the puck in, walk right in the first goal of the night. For Frederick, Trent Frederick, thank you, Steve. Little tape delay there, people. Fred Frederick, plays for the Wisconsin Badgers of the Big Ten. He's got 8 goals, 8 assists in 19 games this year, Steve. So the guy has shown that he has offensive ability. And 16 points in 19 games, not bad at all. Again, Belarus, when you play defense, Steve, as you know, you get so tired defending. And when you're on the offense, you seem like you got all the energy in the world. And Belarus looks like they've just, they're skating on an empty gas tank.
Well, you talk about the speed, and there's Jones coming back quickly and just dumping his man to the ice. It seems as if that Team USA speed, Belarus can't really do anything when it comes to breakouts.
And I don't think Belarus has had much practice time since they've been here. So, again, like you said, they're having a hard time dealing with the speed. And if you don't have speed to practice, I don't care how well you practice, it's really hard to get anything accomplished when you got a sea of blue coming at you and taking away all the space.
As clearly Team USA wearing the blue uniforms with the red and white trim and the white helmets. And they lead right now a commanding 10-goal advantage here in this game. And these Belarusian players, you got to understand, they're still playing for pride for their country. And probably in their respect as well, Chris, they may have never been cut from a team in their lives, and they're some of the top players in the world they play in.
Well, they are the top players, yes, and it's a challenge. They have a few guys out tonight. Unfortunately, one player from the Western Hockey League, he broke his arm, so he'll be out of the tournament. And obviously, they were looking forward to getting some production from him.
Bellows the long shot, rebound, it's held on to by Andrei Grishenko in his second stanza here in net.
For all those who are interested, there's tickets still available for the tournament. You can go on BuffaloWorldJuniors.com to purchase tickets for any of the games, including the gold if you're interested. And again, the United States start on the 26th against Denmark at 8 p.m. Oh, great save.
Kachuk, a quick snapper from the slot, and the blocker save made there by Grishenko. I think the game everyone's looking forward to, obviously, with all the hype. The 3 o'clock outdoor matchup at New Era Field between Team USA and Team Canada.
Well, there'll be 75,000 people at that game, Steve, and I guarantee you it'll be a special, and it's obviously a special event. The first time ever to have a World Juniors played outside.
Well, why wouldn't they, since the NHL and the Winter Classic started in Buffalo 10 years ago, and a documentary actually airing starting tomorrow on the NHL Network about that event, the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Buffalo Sabres. In a snow globe atmosphere, you'll see the same thing between Team USA and Team Canada. Why not start it as well in Buffalo? The birthplace of some historic events in the hockey world. Long pass connects. Walking in, Yamamoto hooked up from behind, no call as he tried to release it. Had the goaltender beat, couldn't finish.
I think the lead ref was picking up the 6, Steve, and never saw the hook.
He was indeed.
But I think that could have been a penalty shot if it was in a tournament.
Frederick stepped on a stick there and fell down. Looking back to the point. Belarus chips off the wall. Team USA to drink it free as a chance for Belarus. Defensively, Team USA is there. A save by Wall. Long shot again. Deflects and goes into the far side corner. Tufte begins the rush on the outside. Slides the pass up the middle. Reaching for it, but too far. Belarus will return. Off the boards. Icing negated as the first one back there for Team Belarus is Martinov. Martov and Nikolaev working a two-man game behind the net. However, that will end period number 1. 6 goals for Team USA. Period number 2. After period number 1, it was 6-0 Team USA. After period 2, it's 10-0 Team USA.
Well, Steve, you got to like the center men play so far in this game. There's 6 points coming from the centers. And again, Middlestat, Brown.
Northwest Arena here in Jamestown, New York. An hour and a half away from Buffalo. Team USA on Friday, 7 p.m. will take on Team Sweden in Erie, Pennsylvania. Another hour and a half drive down the 90. And that will be the final exhibition game between these two teams before they start play in the World Juniors. And Team USA will have their roster finalized at that point. Yamamoto comes right back for Team USA. And it all comes down to, oh wow, what a nice feed behind the net from Casey Middlestat as he finds the stick of Kaylor Yamamoto. And Yamamoto gets the first of the game for himself and Team USA.
Little tape delayed on the USA yelling there, Steve, but good times. The crowd is not bad here for a real small town, and the arena's been really good. The ice has been pretty good for the teams, and again, it happened so fast. Like I said, Belarus was chasing the play. Puck came behind the net, open front, bingo, and 11-0. The poor Belarus goalie looks like the goalie on Slapshot. He's always looking around going, where did he come from? Where did he come from?
Kaylor Yamamoto is first in the game. And so the only goal scorer to have two has been Kiefer Bellows. Other than that, 10 different ones. A 2-on-1 save, batted out of the air on a high stick. It's touched up by Belarus, and the faceoff will go all the way down.
Igor Sherogokov, Gogrich, I should say. Igor Sheregovich, right? He's played well tonight for Belarus. This top line has had some scoring opportunities. God, I butchered that name, didn't I?
These ones are not easy.
And again, it's been challenging. They don't have any names on the back. We just got the list 5 minutes before we went on air. So.
There was not a lot on Belarus on the websites.
Yeah.
And if it was in Russian. So, or pardon me, Belarusian, which is, Chris, as you were talking earlier, you hear the language, you hear them speak, you don't know much about it in the culture, but you've done quite a bit of background research on Belarus and their language and their culture.
Yeah, it's kind of unique. They speak Belarusian, and people don't really say, well, what does that mean? Well, it's a combination of the languages in and around where they live. Northeast is Russia, Ukraine is to the south of them, Poland is to the west, Lithuania and Latvia to the northwest. And again, their language is a combination of all kinds of Russian language kind of combined, a little bit of Polish, and again, it's a kind of unique situation. 40% of their country is force. Oh,
there is another goal, the backdoor feed. Josh Norris, the 12th different goal scorer now or 11th, different goal scorer for Team USA.
Again, go to the net with the stick along the ice. The puck found it and went right between the legs to make it 12-0.
Great feed from the half wall as they hit a dozen on the board for Team USA.
Josh Norris, first-round pick of the San Jose Sharks. And this year for Michigan, in 14 games, he's got 3 goals and 5 assists.
Driving wide around, back to the top. Over for Hughes. Hughes for Team USA. Wheels back. Walsh far side. Kemp picked off of the middle, but it's held in by Walsh.
Trent Federick got the assist, Steve. So again, Norris, his first goal, his second point of the evening, assisted by Trent Frederick. His first assist of the evening, his second point.
So Team USA takes a penalty, be Max Jones, and so a power play for Belarus. Obviously a goal doesn't really change the game, but let's see if they can get on the board here at all.
Again, the United States is trying to find pairings, right, for the power play, as we mentioned earlier, and the penalty kill. And winning important face-offs, too, is going to be a big factor when you're killing a penalty. And having Brady Tkachuk take a face-off was kind of unique. Haven't seen that much tonight.
Penalty killers now are Tkachuk and Tufte. And on the back end, Perenovic along with Sandberg are the gentlemen who work the defensive positions. Tufte, and then falling down but holding it in for Belarus along the boards. Working hard here is Radichenko for Belarus. However, they couldn't hold it in. This is Yeremenko.
Shesko was the one on the knees, Steve, who did a nice job to keep it in.
Maxim Shesko's the captain of his team, and then planting to the ice on a nice check over the middle by Andrew Peak, the 6'2" forward.
Again, he plays for Owen Sound in the Ontario Hockey League.
Belarus starts the rush. Litvinov turns back over. USA waiting, killing a penalty, and still with it now is Team USA. That was Frederick who took his time. Long pass, and no icing as Team Belarus wins the foot race to get down first. I love that rule that allows the foot race to negate it. Shot through traffic was blocked. And Team USA 2-on-1 shorthanded. Norris leads the charge. Frederick on his off wing. The shot save made. And then shoveled back out by Grishchenko.
There was no back pressure at all for Belarus. And again, that's why it's been a long night. When you know that nobody's coming from behind, you got all the time in the world.
Nice move by Hughes. Hughes, saucer pass across. Still killing a penalty, so no icing there. Off the ball, back to Hughes. Hughes turns back, and we have a penalty.
Too many men.
There's 5 guys on the ice for Team USA, but the penalty has expired. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pardon me. 6 on the ice for Team USA.
And I don't know if it was the player coming out of the box, not coming to the bench, and going into the play, which led to the guy that was on the bench expecting to jump onto the play to get the 6. And again, you guys can get tickets for any of the games at BuffaloWorldJuniors.com. And again, very unique. But again, this is the part you want to get it all worked out, that bench penalties. You don't want to take one at the wrong time. And again, back-to-back power plays for Belarus. Hopefully they can muster something up.
Shot shrugged away by the netminder of Team USA. A foot race. Bedini drives past the D. He's held up just enough, and the puck goes off his stick. Calling for it back in the own end. They'll clear it back out to center. Hughes harassed, and it's stolen away. Serengovich. Bouncing, finally settled down. Belarus holds.
Serengovich easily has been Belarus's best player this evening, as well as Maxim Shesko. Those 2 guys have really showed that they could compete at this level. See, the goaltending for the United States, it's tough to sit there for a long period of time not facing any shots. And Wool, I thought he's been great tonight, being,
mentally sharp.
4, 5, 6, 7 minutes without a shot.
Yeah, no question that it's certainly. Tkachuk now comes back out, looking around for support. He does an around-the-world look and takes the shot and somehow still has the puck.
Again, a high shot,
Dug
nice
it free.
save.
Here's a chance in front for Brown. And going the Snow Angel style to keep it out of the net. And we have a whistle.
The net came off its borings. Wow. Logan Brown was wide open, left alone. And I think Logan didn't really know what he wanted to do there. He went forehand, backhand, back to forehand, and he kind of ran out of real estate. But going back to your little history class there, Steve, 40% of the country of Belarus is forest. So you can just imagine there's not a lot of opportunity.
There's a look at the Brown opportunity. But a nice save to stay with that by Grishenko. Brown shovels it back out to center ice in the backhand. Comes back to center, knocked down. Perenovic, he gets the pass back on a D-to-D. Launches it up to center, reaching for it was Middlestat, but it's icing as he's the man that was serving the too many men bench minor.
It's going to be interesting Friday night, Steve, to see how the U.S. responds, because Sweden, they play a very structured game. And the way that the U.S. is, headman in the puck up the middle, it's going to be really fun to watch to see how they deal with Sweden's discipline, especially defending without the puck. And again, it's Friday night, 7 p.m. in Erie, Pennsylvania, at the Erie Insurance Arena. Game time 7 o'clock. Tickets are still available.
The home of the Erie Otters and
Connor McDavid.
Certainly, of course, everyone knows the name Connor McDavid. He played his junior hockey there.
Ryan Strome, third overall pick of the Arizona Coyotes.
Teammates with Jack Eichel. Line mates, I believe.
Yes, they were. Belarus is just looking at the clock going, when is this over?
I mean, isn't it after 10 they should have a running clock for this thing? It's certainly a matchup where these, if you're Belarus, it's just time to get out of here. But Team USA still working on some matchups and tendencies, and certainly for them.
And again, they're looking at quality of passes and breakouts. And even though that you can get away with it now.
And now you're going to take another penalty. This is one thing that drives me nuts this year, Chris. And if you listen to the announcers, you talk about the coaches, this rule is just stupid. This face-off violation rule is just, it dumbfounds me. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Well, I think if you look at the essence of the rule, it's trying to prevent people from cheating and cutting corners and jumping into the play and getting an advantage. And you're seeing that, you saw a lot of that in the NHL in the preseason. You don't obviously see so much.
The first 10, 12 games.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they kind of let it go. But again, if you're the second guy taking the face-off, you know that the first guy got thrown out. You can't do anything, right? You can't cheat and you can't get kicked out. And if you're on the wings, you got to stay and you got to wait till that puck drops.
Kiefer Bellows is the guilty party, but I didn't see anything from his face-off that warranted getting tossed.
No, I think one of the wingers jumped before the puck was dropped, and I don't think it had anything with Bellows. It's just, again, one of the wingers jumped in.
I just don't know who in their right mind thought this was a good idea for a penalty. I think it's awful, and I think it really ruins the game and takes away from the great guys in the face-off circle.
I just don't think you'll see those calls when the games are on the line.
In the playoffs,
12-0, you could see it, right? But if it's a tie score in the medal rounds, unless it's real bad. And even then, I don't think that no referee or linesman want to make that call. So it is what it is. But again, you get kicked out. The first guy gets kicked out.
Tufte on the wing, drives the backhander, he scores! Riley Tufte, he picks up his second goal on the shorthanded opportunity. fired away, blew right by the defense, opened up the goaltender, tucked it through the wickets, and it's a baker's dozen for Team USA. What speed from the 6'5" forward from Minnesota, and he just put it on a clinic right there at how you get by a defenseman. You shield to the inside, you put the right leg in the ice, and you drive in. Here it is again, Chris.
Nice, easy, had his head up. He cut to the middle. He got the goalie to go left to right. The legs opened up, and he slid it right between them. And again, doesn't matter what the score is. When you have an opportunity to score, right, you got to score.
Here it is, a 2-on-1. Chance shot, score! The feed in front was saved, the rebound, and Jones was there to shovel it home for 14.
Well,
Jones and Norris with a 2-on-1. Jones fed it to Norris, the save, and it came right back to Jones, and he just slammed it back.
Again, I think everybody's got a goal tonight, Steve. It's working on it. There's only a few guys that do not, including Joe Wall, the goalie. But again, nice passing, and again, I think it's just a matter of going through the motions. But the U.S. can't do the motions. Again, we talked earlier this evening, there's 4 gentlemen that will be being told to go home. And again, if you're fighting for a position, right, and you have a chance to score, make a big hit, you got to keep going. So this 14-0 score is like a mirage.
So they're giving the goal to Riley Walsh. I'm not really sure how that's possible, but either way. According to the scorer, they just said Riley Walsh, but clearly it was Max Jones who put that in. Well, either way, no problem. We've got it right. You're tuning in here on Hockey TV. Thanks for joining us, Steve Warzala and Chris LaChapelle from the Northwest Arena here in Jamestown, New York. 10.5 to go here in the final stanza of regulation as Team USA has a commanding lead over Belarus. As preliminary warm-up here. Opportunity USA again. Backhander swatted away by the defense.
Again, Belarus is giving up so much space. The U.S. is just able to do whatever they want to do. But again, breakouts, getting out of the zone fast. Really important for the U.S.
Brown into the zone, slows down, looks across. Yamamoto trying to fight through it. Comes back up the wall, held in nicely by Kemp. Bouncing puck, Belarus to center. Great gap by defenseman Quinn Hughes to draw him in and take the poke check away. And we get a delayed penalty here. It'll be a check from behind or something along those lines, as it was in a dangerous area. Team USA was looking for a penalty. The front side official did not call it. It's a boarding call. And Team USA goes to the power play. And we'll see what unit they come out with.
Dmitry Borisov kind of lost his temper and gave Brady Tkachuk a good drive into the players' bench.
So you've got Jones along with Tufte and Frederick up front. Perenovic and Walsh will play defense here. They look at the inside shot, both on defensemen on their off wing as they switch it up. Face-off won by Belarus. They could not clear. Team USA holds it in. Second attempt by Belarus to the line. Another nice defensive play by Perenovic to hold it in. On the outside, here's Frederick now for Team USA. Kicks it down low. Out in front, Riley Walsh, the knuckle puck to the net. Save is made. Tapped out of there. Here's a foot race, and Belarus has a breakaway. In clean, and he airmails it over the top of the net. And maybe getting a piece was Joseph Wall. Here's the other eye. Breakaway! Waiting, out in front. And Team USA taking their time up center waits, backside, and just couldn't connect.
Even Dordoff had a chance there on the breakaway. Great save by Wall. Again, I think that was his first shot in this period, and we're 8.5 minutes in.
Tufty shoots and a kick save made and cleared down by Belarus. Boy, back-to-back breakaway opportunities. Again, you see a very odd play here. It's a situation where the goaltender, Joe Wall, is left all by himself with no support.
I guarantee you that's going to be discussed because you can't afford to have the goalie by himself like that.
Shot taken by Bedini.
It's not like Wall is Martin Brodeur back there. Nobody is.
Kemp.
And I don't think Brodeur would be too happy if he was all by himself
either. The nice thing if you're Brodeur, I mean, you can play the puck so well, it's out of the zone, but Joseph Wall, I'm certainly discussing it. It will be discussed with his teammates, unless that's part of the strategy, Chris, which I doubt it, but.
No, like I said, that's the second time tonight, which is kind of weird. It looks like pickup hockey. Everybody goes to the bench, the goalie holds onto the puck. So it'll be neat to watch that on video to see where is everybody at that point in time.
Bedini is excused.
So again, when you get kicked out with this rule, the wingers did a nice job. You can't move.
Wall will play it up ahead.
Again, Belarus hasn't had many shots tonight, Steve, but the ones they have, Wall's been excellent. 2 breakaways, 3 great in-close saves on their power play.
You talk about a last name for a goaltender, and Wall, it looks pretty much like Wall, and that's not a bad name to have if you're a goaltender.
And if he turns out to what everybody thinks he will in the Toronto Maple Leaf organization, the fans in Toronto will be building all kinds of stuff.
Hughes, nifty move, touches it through, off the glass and in.
So again, the U.S. is working on their 1-2-2. And again, this is a great way to practice, pretending that you have a 1-goal lead and making sure that Belarus doesn't have any more offensive chances, especially when you're up by 14. You shouldn't be really giving up breakaways.
You're right, so they've changed their systems up a little bit. Here's a nice feed out in front. Bellows with a pair so far.
But again, I would assume throughout the night the coaching staff was talking about, 5-minute intervals, how many turnovers, right, bad passes, and all those things that they've been harping on. And that's the way to do it, especially when you're up 14-0. Try to work on the little things and try not to get too complacent.
Kiefer Bellows chips it in cross ice.
Because, Steve, we've been on both ends of games like this. It's not fun either way. At one side, yeah, you won, but you're just sitting there going, geez.
Yeah, if you've played a sport, pretty much you've been on the side of these things, unless you're... Oh, here's a chance. USA walking in. The shot, save made. And held on to by Grushenko as we inside the 6-minute mark.
What the United States have done a wonderful job tonight is getting that cross-ice pass with the man coming in. And again, I think the way that the game's played now is that the trailers and the defensemen have to jump in to get those scoring chances. Because defensively, the teams are so good, especially the bigger powers, and they'll be able to just block people off. And it's the lack of back checking and effort, and then getting that guy coming in from the back, having that chance.
Yeah, back pressure is huge, no question. Pass up ahead. Belarus will clear the zone. They'll elect to dump it right in on goal.
Sandberg really, he just crushed Sherznovich.
Taking his time is Walsh. Went off a skate, right back in Belarus. Nice drag play through the skates, out in front. And here comes Team USA back on the charge. Perenovic will just tap it in.
That was Ivan Drofdev, who had the breakaway earlier in the period. Steve put a nice little behind through the legs pass to himself, had a good scoring opportunity. And again, Wall was there to make a good save.
Cross ice dump from Belarus. Team USA wins the battle, but it's knocked away nicely by the Belarus team on the forecheck. Spinning away from pressure.
The last few minutes, they've really shown a little bit of oomph in their play. But again, when you have the puck, you have energy. When you're always chasing it, you're getting tired.
Jones. D to D. Frederick on the pass with a ton of open space. Across the red line, dump it in. And you're right, Chris, they're looking to see how their defensive strategies look. By cross ice dump, sending in one guy to create the pressure and see if they can create turnovers here. And they'll do it again. With a guy going. Nifty move there. Team USA still controls in front.
What's really good is still the U.S.'s defensemen are still jumping in. And the coaching staff, when we spoke to them tonight, this evening before the game, they all talked about they want 5-man units flying into the offensive zone. And when you do that, you make a bad pass, puck gets deflected, you can easily give up a 2-on-1 or a breakaway. But again, if you have good goaltending and you believe in your talent, how many bad chances are you going to give up in a night? And
Sure.
You're going to get more offensive chances than defensive lapses. So
4 minutes exactly remain in this one. Long home run pass. Foot race. Team USA had the inside track, but they're calling it icing. And they're trying to split the D on that one.
like I said, Friday night is going to be a fun night to see Sweden take on the Americans because, again, the Swedes have always been a transitional team. You make a mistake, they're gone. But they play such sound defensive hockey, just like the Finns.
That's a structure, right? So they're inside. They play within the structure. They play well within it. But they have the speed and recovery of a team like Team USA.
And it's a mistake-driven game. And when you make a mistake, can you cash in on that mistake? And again, both teams like Sweden, Canada, United States, Russia have that ability. So,
how many times tonight did you see Team USA score on a backside play where there's no help and the goaltender's got to try to make a save, a big one, and just couldn't come up with it? And you've seen both goaltenders play the ice twice. Andrei Grashenko, who's in net now, misses his second time in net, and Dmitry Rodek, who's also been inside twice. Rodek was originally pulled after the third goal of the game, and then Grashenko was removed after the 10th goal of the game, and then they've gone back and forth since.
The way it started out in the first period, Steve, I thought they were going to wave the flag and for you to don on the pads.
No longer have that agility. If they were talking about maybe a sandwich eating competition, I'm in. Shot on the one-timer released from Yamamoto in the high slot, and that save is made.
You know, when you look at a score being 14-0, you would think, wow, the goaltending wasn't very good. They have not played bad, Steve. The goals have been, open, wide open, right, top shelf underneath the bar, breakaways, 2-on-1s. How many, and the goalies have made some good saves for Belarus tonight.
Out in front, the shot nets off the moorings. The shot missed anyway.
Once again, fans, don't forget, tickets are available for Belarus versus Slovakia. Tomorrow night, right here at the Northwestern Arena.
So tomorrow night, Belarus will be taking on Slovakia right here in Jamestown. You can watch that
if you're here.
So again, if you're in the area, it's great to watch the best juniors around the world. Come and support the players.
And for Team USA, they'll get a day off, and I'm not sure if they're staying here or heading down to Erie, but they take on Team Sweden on Friday.
I think that they'd probably take the short bus trip to Erie tonight.
Would make sense. Backhander in front. Tap back in the corner by the defense. The Belarus Just over 2 minutes to go here. Trying to get on the board. Foot race for it. Goes back inside Team USA's end. And Chris, they've kind of, I wouldn't say give up trying to score, but they're trying different things on the breakouts. They're trying different things defensively. They're trying to set up defenses. Getting pucks in deep.
They're basically working on what if we had a 1-goal lead. And that's how you have to do it. Because you don't get a lot of practice. They get one more game Friday night, and then you got to start. And when you're evaluating players, right, you got to look at, you want them to have equal opportunity as much as you can. And hopefully tonight, the players that deserve to be here kind of separated themselves a little bit. But they don't know if they're going to make cuts after tonight, and they definitely have to do it after Friday night's game. So we shall see.
You said it's kind of a floating, you said, are you going to let them play 2 games? He said, we don't know. It's floating. Hard to make cuts when a game you score 14 goals. Yeah. One cut that unfortunately could be obvious depending on what they come up with is Will Lockwood. Hopefully he's okay.
Yes.
If he's not, then that's an obvious one. Unfortunately, it depends. You know, he played very well so far in this game.
He didn't come back. It looked serious.
He went right off the ice, he knew.
And it unfortunately makes coach's life a little better when the person just can't play, and hopefully that's not the case.
Icing waved off.
Obviously we'll have updates on his condition on Friday night. As of right now, we don't have any information.
Steve Warzala, Chris LaChapelle here. We will have the call for you in Erie as Team USA will take on Sweden. 18 seconds remaining here in the third. Swept around to the far side. Belarus. Last ditch effort and rush. Bouncing puck. Turned over by Belarus in front of the net. And the defense is there to lift a stick as Tufte will just wait to wind it down. And that'll do it. Team USA best Team Belarus by a score of 14-0. Chris, final thoughts on the night before we wrap things up.
Well, the U.S. got more first downs than Belarus. They were able to punch it in on the goal line. You and I spoke about it before the game, Steve. Didn't surprise me. But again, you saw some really little patches of impressiveness. I thought the goaltending for the U.S. didn't have a lot of chances, but the chances were high quality. He made the saves, was very good. The passing, especially coming through the middle, the backside passes, the cross-ice passes for most of the goals were very good. So, again, take little steps, and there's a big game Friday night against Sweden that will even showcase them further, good or bad.
Friday night,